Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm sharing my personal list of the best movies I watched in 2024. This list is based on the films I personally watched and enjoyed. Let's dive in. Number 10. The Taste of Things. This one will make you hungry. It's a beautiful story centered around cooking, set in a charming old French kitchen run by an incredible chef. You can practically smell the delicious food wafting through the screen. It's a gentle reminder of the difference between just looking and truly seeing, between eating and fully savoring each bite. This movie isn't just about eating. It's about tasting food and savoring every moment of life. Here's a fun fact. This film was France's official entry for the Oscars. The lead actors Juliette Binoche and Benoit Magimel, who share a romantic storyline in the movie, actually had a failed marriage together in real life. Number 9. Wild Robot Animated. This heartwarming animation touched audiences all over the world. People saying it made them emotional, even cry, and that's what got me curious enough to watch it. The story follows a robot whose ship sinks, leaving it stranded in a forest it wasn't built to survive in. But before it knows it, it becomes the caretaker of an orphan baby goose, while also being hated by the rest of the forest creatures. What's unique about this film is its positive take on AI, which is a refreshing change from the usual doom and gloom narratives we see in movies. I loved every bit of it. It's one of the Oscar frontrunners this year, and guess what? A sequel is reportedly in the works. Number 8. The Promised Land. This movie became one of the best of the year for a few reasons. Mads Mikkelsen, need I say more? It has all the elements that made me fall in love with cinema in the first place. A charismatic hero, a truly detestable villain, and a gripping story. The plot follows a proud army captain tasked with making a barren land fertile. But of course, there's an evil force in the region working against him at every step. It's a classic formula, but one that's executed brilliantly. Number 7. Young Woman and the Sea. What I love most about this movie is how clear it is about what it wants to be. A fun, inspiring, and emotional sports drama. And it delivers exactly that. Based on a true story, it tells the tale of a young swimmer in 1920s America who dreams of crossing the English Channel, despite facing countless obstacles as a woman in sports during that time. The movie doesn't try to be groundbreaking. It knows it's following familiar, proven cinematic formulas, and it embraces that fully. Even so, it hit me hard emotionally. I was moved so many times while watching it. That's why Young Woman and the Sea became such an important film for me this year. Number 6. Poor Things. If you're into wild, crazy movies, Poor Things is the perfect pick for 2024. The story is about a pregnant woman takes her own life, but a mad scientist removes her baby's brain, places it into her body, and brings her back to life. Yeah, it's as insane as it sounds. This movie is from the brilliantly chaotic mind of director Yorgos Lanthimos, the king of eccentric cinema. The film follows Bella Baxter, a woman with the mind of a child in an adult body, as she navigates life and rebellion. The narrative is fascinating. The performances, especially from Mark Ruffalo, are top-notch, and visually the movie is stunning. Number 5. Dune Part 2. An impressive continuation of Denis Villeneuve's sci-fi masterpiece. This sequel lived up to the hype and then some. This time, the movie takes us even deeper into the underground world of the Fremen, immersing us in their culture and struggle. It's visually breathtaking, the sound design is epic, and it swings between grand, awe-inspiring moments and terrifyingly intense scenes. At its core, Dune Part 2 is a story about transformation. It also tries to weave in a romance, which I don't think fully lands, but overall, I found it even more captivating than Part 1. Oh, and get ready for Dune Part 3, set to release in 2026. Number 4. The Zone of Interest. This movie won the Grand Prix at Cannes and is also an Oscar contender for Best International Film. It tells the unsettling story of a Nazi commander and his family living an idyllic life in their luxurious home right next to Auschwitz. Here's the twist. While the family enjoys a picture-perfect existence on one side of the wall, unimaginable horrors unfold just steps away, as the man of the house oversees the deaths of countless people. The contrast is gut-wrenching. Important note, if you plan to watch this movie, be prepared it's not an entertaining, feel-good film. This is meaningful, art house cinema that digs deep and leaves a lasting impact if you let it. The film's powerful use of contrasts grabs you by the heart. Beauty and horror, peace and destruction, existing side by side as if nothing is happening. Number 3. Anora. Anora won the Palme d'Or at Cannes 2024, and for good reason. It's a fascinating and hilarious movie that puts you in a totally unique situation. The story follows a Russian multi-billionaire's son who, without telling his family, falls for an American escort and proposes to her. Can you imagine what happens next? This film is fun, fast-paced, and full of quirky characters. It's got a charming kind of craziness that keeps you hooked. Anora was still a standout experience for me in 2024. Number 2. Inside Out 2. After nearly a decade, we finally got a sequel to one of the greatest animated films of all time. Inside Out 2 picks up the story of Riley, who's now a teenager navigating the stormy waters of adolescence, and her emotions are growing up too. This movie dives deep into the role of anxiety, which often takes over during our teenage years, and shows how important it is to be aware of and manage it. Otherwise, it can have some pretty serious effects. The story is universal, it resonates with everyone, but especially with those of us who have dealt with anxiety. Watching Inside Out 2 felt like taking a journey inside my own mind, reflecting on which emotion is holding the reins: joy, anger, fear, or anxiety. It's a beautifully crafted, meaningful animation that stays with you long after the credits roll. Number 1. The Society of Snow. This one tops my list. It's the gripping true story of a young rugby team whose plane crashes in the icy Andes Mountains. The survivors are forced to face unimaginable challenges, battling snow and fear as they fight to stay alive. Knowing this is based on real events makes it even more haunting. The movie captures both the vastness of the sky and the brutal harshness of the frozen ground. Even months after watching, the story still lingers with me. This snowbound tale hasn't let me go. That's my top 10 movies of 2024. What about you? Let me know your top picks in the comments so we can discover even more amazing films together. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more awesome content. See you next time.